Hi everyone. Um, on my previous video, I have explained on topic 1, 2 questions on topic 1. That is 1.0 indices. This is the question 1 and that I have recorded in my video. And the solution for the question 2 as well, we have done it. Now we are going to proceed to the question 3. Without using calculator, evaluate those questions A until F. Yeah? Right. So let's look at the question A. So we're not going to use a calculator to evaluate what is the answer for the 8 power of 1 over 3. I'm going to simplify the 8 into the 2 power of 3. And then this is going to be power of 1 over 3. So 3 power of 1 over 3, you can see that the 2 power of 3, power of 1 over 3, where this 3 and 1 over 3 can be cancelled off and become 2. Alright, and then this becomes 2 because the power becomes 1. Now you have a 6. So you can see that in process I got the answer. I haven't used this calculator to find the 8 power of 1 over 3. You just simplify by using the knowledge of the indices. Alright, look at the B, 32 power of 2 over 5. Multiply by 100 power of negative 1 over 2. So just ask yourself, 32, we can change it into the simplest index. I mean, change the index number which has the simplest base. Okay, so 32 can be converted into 2 power of 5. Yeah, this is the simplest base we can get. All right, and then it originally it has the power of 2 over 5. Multiply by 10, you can change to the, you can convert it into the 10 power 100, change it into the 10 power of 2, and this is power of negative 1 over 2. So you can see that actually the 5 and the 5 here can be cancelled off. Then you have a 2 power of 2 multiplied by the 2 cancel off over here. You have a 10 power of a negative 1. And now we have a 4. And remember that this power of negative means that is multiplied by, this will be 1 over 10. 4 multiplied by 1 over 10, you can simplify this. Alright, 5 multiplied by 2 will be 10, and 2 multiplied by 2 will be 4. So the final answer will be 2 over 5. Yeah, 2 over 5. For this question C, alright, we're going to simplify first before we find the answer. Okay, without using calculator, I'm going to convert the 1 over 4 into 2 power of negative 2. Because 1 over 4, the 4 over here can be converted into 2 power of 2. And because it is a denominator, and I'm going to convert it into this form, where it's the index form, then the power need to be negative so that it actually equivalent to 1 over 4. And this is going to be power of 3 over 2, and this is multiplied by, alright, 8 also can be simplified into 2 power of 3, and this is power of 2 over 3. What you can do is, you just taking the negative 2 multiplied by 3 over 2, you are cancelling off this 2, and power of 3 over here can be cancelled off with the 3 over here. Finally, you will have a 2 power of negative 3, because negative 1 multiplied by 3, you get negative 3, multiplied by 2 power of 2. So when you have this, the base, the index number with the same base, where the base is 2 now, okay, and the operation is multiply, you can actually sum them up. That is negative 3 plus 2. That will be the, this is a law of indices. And finally, you have a 2 power of negative 1. Simplified further, you have a 1 over 2, because the power of negative means you going to find the reciprocal of 2, and the power of the 2 is 1 over here. The final answer is a 1 over 2. Let's proceed to the question B. So as I said, as I mentioned in my previous video, okay, there are a few index number that you need to memorize, meaning that you need to get used to it. For example, the 4, the first, first slide you look at the 4, you must know that the 4 can be converted into the 2 power of 2. That will help you to speed up your speed in solving the question. So for 27, all right, you got to get used to 27, which 27 can be converted into 3 power of 3, and this is power of 2 over 3, okay, according to the question. And 25 is a 5 power of 2, and it's going to be power of 1 over 2. Then after that, you're going to simplify each index number here. And the 2 for the first one, the 2 and 1 multiplied by 1 over 2, the 2 cancel off. You have a 2 power of 1, where the 1 is just can ignore. You can the 2 is equivalent to 2 power of 1. And the 3 here you can cancel off. You got a 3 power of 2. The 2 here also cancel off, simplify. You got a 5 power of 1, where the 1 just don't have to write it. And lastly, this is a very simple operation. You just can multiply and divide it by 5. This is going to be 9 multiplied by 2. That will be 18. Final answer, that will be 18 over 5. This is the question E. The same thing. Without using calculator, I'm going to evaluate this. So we will actually should be very familiar with 27, where 27 can be converted into 3 power of 3, and this is a power of negative 1 over 3, multiplied by 3 over 8 can be converted into 2 power of 3, and this is going to be power of negative 1 over 3. Then now it's time for us to simplify, cutting off these 3 and cancel off these 3. Finally, we simplified it. We will have a 3 power of negative 1, where you can write it as a 1 over 3, multiplied by 3 over 2 power of negative 1. 2 power of negative 1, that will be 1 over 2. So the 3 again here can be cancelled off, and here you have a 1. 1 over 2, that will be going to be 2. Okay, so the final answer is 2. We shall proceed to the question F. 32 convert into 2 power of 5, and this is power of negative 1 over 5 multiplied by 3. This is a very simple question. Cancel off the 5. You got a 2 power of negative 1, where you can write it as a 1 over 2 multiplied by 3 over here. Finally, that will be 3 over 2. For 27, I'm going to change it into the 3 power of 3, and this is power of 1 over 2, multiplied by 3 power of negative 1 over 2. So for these, for the 3 power of 3, power of 1 over 2 here, the 3 and 1 over 2, it cannot simplify. We just write it as a 3 over 2. Multiply by 3, multiply by negative 1 over 2. Again, this is indices which having the same base. There is a rule, a power of m multiplied by a power of n. That will be equals to a power of m plus n, where you must have the same base, then the power you can add it up. Alright, become a power of m plus n. I'm going to use this rule to find my answer for the question G. So as if that the 3 will be the A, and the m is a 3 over 2, the n will be n. Alright, then now you are going to add them up. 3 over 2 plus negative 1 over 2, that will be 3 over 2 minus 1 over 2. The final answer is 3 minus 1, that will be 2 over 2. Finally, you get a 3 power of 1, where it is equivalent to 3. Alright, this is a question H, which is my last question in this video. Now again, we are using the same concept. Convert the 25 into 5 power of 2, which having the simplest base. And this is a power of negative 1 over 2 based on the question. And 125, you got to get used to the number of 125, where 125 can be converted into 5 power of 3. Alright, as you do more questions, automatically you will know 125 is actually 5 power of 3. And the 8 can be converted into 2 power of 3. And this is a power of negative 1 over 3. So what you can do now is simplify the index, the power. So the 2 and negative 1 over 2, alright, you cancel off the 2. And the 3 here also cancel off. 3 here cancel off. So end up what you have, you got a 5 power of negative 1 multiplied by 5 power of 2 divided by 2 power of negative 1. So what we have is now we can actually use the rules of indices because we have to base the same base, that is 5. The power can be added up, and what you have now is 5 power of negative 1 plus 2, you get a 5 power of 1 over 1 over 2. So here you have a 5 over 1 over 2, which is equivalent to 5 multiplied by 2. Alright, that is equals to 10. Alright, thank you for watching.